evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities Behind Black Business. And tonight we have special guest, Rhonda Johnson, and Rhonda is the proprietor of Exquisite Care Spa and Wellness. Rhonda does massage therapy. She's an esthetician. You know, Rhonda's bringing a lot of talent. She's also an ordained minister. So she's not only dealing with you in terms of your physical, but it's a comprehensive and holistic approach. There's a spiritual component and there's a physical and emotional component that she is able to deal with when she's treating you. So Rhonda, I want to thank you for taking time to be with us tonight.
Oh, you are so welcome, Denise. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. We met at Juneteenth, Southside Community Federal Credit Union, which is a Black financial institution here in Chicago. They had a Juneteenth event, and Rhonda was there, and she was giving massages and sharing so much information to people, and I thought it was a good thing for us to know that Rhonda is here, you know, and you know, we're all about supporting Black businesses, and the Southside Community Federal Credit Union is a Black business. They're a banking institution. They provide loans for mortgages, for cars, for personal loans. They provide financial literacy, and of course, we need to know how to handle our money.
That's right.
That's something that we don't get enough training about and conversation about.
So true.
And so they are there and willing to help you in all aspects of your finance. They've been there for over 20 years, so there's no excuse for most of you not to have had an account. In order for a banking institution to thrive, you have to create accounts. You have your money in so many other banks who do not give back, but you're helping them to create wealth by having your money sitting there, and they're able to use your money to invest. So we have to learn to invest in ourselves. Southside Community Federal Credit Union is located at 55th and Wentworth, right there in the back of the mall at Garfield and Eisenhower Expressway. So please support the Southside Community Federal Credit Union because they are here to support you. We also here at Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities, you know, we're here to enhance the support and awareness of Black businesses. And so as we talk about our banking institutions, we're talking about all of our businesses. And that's why we have Rhonda here tonight. And we have had so many businesses here in the Chicago area that many of you do not know about. And that's why we have this podcast every night. We know that Black businesses are more likely to support our community. They're more likely to give back. They're more likely to hire Black people, do business with other Black people, serve as mentors for other aspiring business people and our children. Yes. They're going to give back. And so this it's the dollars and it's the time and the energy that is put back into the community. It's not just 100% the dollars. The dollars are important because we know that our dollars do not stay in our community. That's because we're spending our money with people who are not giving back, but they're using those dollars that they have extracted from our community to build their own. And so we have to change that. And the only people that can change that is us. So we also are great proponents of our bookstores. We have a resurgence of Black bookstores. We had 22 at one point. We were down to 2. We went up to 9, and now there are 2 more that we're going to be adding to the list on our website. If you go to rrgbc.org, we have listed all of the bookstores. Why are our bookstores so important? Because that's where our history is. That's where our perspectives are. That's where you're going to read about who we are and our contributions and how we can move forward. And I know you go to Amazon, it's more convenient seemingly to go to Amazon, but it's something we have to develop in our consciousness to to support our Black bookstores. And so we feature a Black bookstore on our website every month. And the bookstore that we're featuring for this month is Rose Cafe. Rose is a young lady. She's also a special education teacher, and she has an online bookstore with a lot of children's books and adult books that we can read. You can go to rosecafe.org and look at the plethora of books that she has to offer. We go a little step further and we have a book giveaway every month. Okay, last month we gave away a book of poetry that was actually written by the CEO and president of the Southside Community Federal Credit Union, Greg Brown. But this month, the book that we're giving away is The Three Mothers by Anna Maleka Tubbs. And this is a book of how the mothers of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, James Baldwin shaped the nation. They entrenched at that time in racism. Not to say we don't have our problems today, but they had it to face on and in more violent ways. But in that environment, they instilled resistance and that we have value in their sons. And Martin Luther King and James Baldwin and Malcolm X gave a lot. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X actually gave their lives. Now, if you want to win a copy of this book, The Three Mothers, go to rrgbc.org and subscribe. We will purchase the book from Rose Cafe and pay for the shipping. That's how important we feel this book is. Something that we're making as a contribution to our community. So please support our Black bookstores. And also, in relationship to supporting our Black bookstores, we have a petition out where we want our public schools and our local libraries to give contracts to our Black bookstores. So we have a petition. I had to update it because we have a new mayor and state reps. And so we want you to, or Secretary of State it is, that we have two people that we have to address with this matter. And so we did update the names, and you can go to Save Black Bookstores Chicago at change.org. That's Save Black Bookstores Chicago at change.org. And please sign our petition. Okay? All right. So now we're going to talk about Rhonda and what Rhonda does. Rhonda is a massage therapist, esthetician, spa and wellness, transformational coaching products and programs that she offers. Rhonda is doing a lot of work and in a lot of different contexts. So tonight, Rhonda, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience. And you mentioned that you are a transformational coach, and I would like for you to explain what that entails.
Okay. Well, as Denise was saying, my name is Rhonda Johnson. I have an honorary doctorate in divinity. I'm ordained in ministry. I'm a licensed clinical massage therapist and esthetician, and I also have a background as a hospice CNA. And in addition to that, I've experienced many different types of traumas, but I've taken all of this experience and put it into a package so that you can learn and you can heal and you can overcome obstacles in way less time than I did. I'm almost 60 years old, and it shouldn't take you as long as it has taken me to deal with a lot of these issues. I can help you heal in a matter of days, months, and weeks, but definitely not years. I don't want anybody to go through the years that I went through. I can teach you so much so fast so that you can overcome your problems and move right along, move faster, and have a better life. I use massage therapy, I use aesthetics, I use everything that I've learned, all my skill and experience. I combine them and put them together and make it happen.
So Rhonda, wow, I mean, you're even dealing with hospice. So we're talking about life. We're talking all the way to the end of life.
Yes.
Now you are an ordained minister as well. How has that impacted your work, being an ordained minister?
Oh my God. It's really everything, because way back in 2011, that's when I made the decision that I wanted to serve God and His people. And this is what has helped me to overcome my trauma, because the things that made me feel so bad, I never wanted to see anyone else feel that way. So I just took everything that I had learned, helping myself heal, helping others heal, and just developed the packages and programs and things like that.
So when did you decide to become a minister? What inspired you to go in that direction?
Well, it was 2010, 2011, and my mother was dying.
Okay.
And I had always felt the calling. But at that time, it was just convenient. I just felt like that's what God wanted me to do.
So your mom brought you up, and were you raised in the church?
Through my grandmother. My grandmother used to take me to church.
Okay.
And she took me to Sunday school, and I developed friends and community there. And little did I know, I was developing principles that would take me through the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that at that time. But when I look back at how I overcame a lot of things, things like that, that's the main thing. I mean, I'm so grateful that that woman, out of everybody in that family, took me to church with her on Sundays. It made all the difference. And when I got a little bit older, I found some books.
Did you ever? You said you always felt you had the calling. So when the minister was up there, were you thinking, I can do this, or that hadn't manifested yet?
By 2011, it did. It did. I felt I was called, because the situation dealing with my mother, it was just so strong, and I felt like I had nobody on my side except God. And I just felt like I wanted to continue and just help people with what I had learned already, because the problem is a lot of people are going through life without any principles. They weren't taught that. They never got that in any way in their life. And it's so important to overcome. And I learned that through years and years, after watching situations, how they played out, and then how things kind of played out in my favor in the end. And I saw it's because God had His favor on me.
So, as an ordained minister, people come to you, and they come to you. They're looking for help. They're looking for some upliftment, with problems that they're having. But then, like you also indicated, there's the value system that we need to put in place.
Yes.
I wish many of our churches would open up schools.
Yes.
Schools for our children, educationally, because I had in our last podcast, we talked about the importance of having our own schools. And so schools that can provide not only the education, but your education is not just about reading and writing.
Right.
You look at some groups, I know, like the Amish people, they're sending their children to school until 6th grade or 12th grade, whatever, and then they'll stop, because that's all you need to know. The rest of your learning is about you being a part of this community that we have created, and how you're going to develop and contribute as an adult to that.
And we should kind of all have a system like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the information that you're imparting is when you talk about values, that's what I think creates the disconnect.
Really? Really?
Not valuing you as a person, not valuing your property, as something that belongs to you, and not valuing ourselves.
So true.
When you talk about dealing with traumas, we as Black people, I don't care how high we have risen, we still have this cloak of oppression
Yeah.
over us. If I were to give a definition of slavery or racism, I would say it's a systematic oppression of a people. A systematic oppression of a people. And we just keep running into that. You know, we can't seem to get out from under that. And so is that something that you think about or you talk about or address, you know, or ever have to talk about to people that are coming to you?
No, not really in my line of work, because
Not directly.
not directly.
Mm-hmm.
I just deal with a lot of the stress of it, of different things. Because when people come in to where I work at, and they have all different kinds of people. They have different things going on with their body, but some very specific things in common that we're all dealing with. And
like, what are some of those things that in our community that we're dealing with?
Oh,
that's pretty common.
Well, physical or emotional or mental? Which one you want?
Let's go one at a time.
Okay. Well, physically, people are dealing with strenuous jobs. Everybody's got neck pain, shoulder pain, upper and lower middle back pain, pain in their legs. It's always the same. I mean, when I first started out in massage therapy, I used to look for people to come in with different things going on. But then I found out everybody's really got the same stuff. You know, we're all doing something with our arms.
And our hands.
We're all, you know, jacked up in the back because of whatever we're doing. We're going like this or going like that, or, you know, we're on the computer. And the problem is we stay so long that our circulation stops.
Okay.
So I spend a lot of time just beating your circulation back into your body.
Okay.
Because that's all it is. And then teaching people how to maintain that and how not to walk out of this door and those muscles clench right back up. So
what would one piece of advice be for that?
To give your body 24 hours of rest after you had a massage.
Okay.
Don't go home and mop the floor and pick up all your heavy kids and you decide you want to paint. Don't do all that. After a massage, you need to rest your body. You can stretch.
Wow.
You know, you can rest, you can stretch, you can soak, things like that.
And they should do those things when they come home from work, huh?
And they're not.
And they're not.
And they're not. A lot of times they come home from work and they're doing more work.
Right. Non-stop. Non-stop. That's
and
where
it's
we are.
very stressful. You practically have to beg people to get massages these days. I mean, I almost congratulate people when they come in, like for the first time getting a massage. Because it's very helpful. I have people that tell me they had pain in their body from different things that happened that was there for years. The doctors couldn't help them. They gave them all kind of painkillers and everything. And I went in there and started working on it, knocked it out in a day or 2 or 3, or, you know, whatever it takes. Because I know the body and I know the muscles, you know.
So you have like a conversation with them?
Oh, definitely. I have to know what's going on. I have to know what's going on. I have to know how it got like that, how the body got that way, so I know what to do. Yeah.
Who are your clients for the most part?
Okay. For my clients for the most part are friends and family. I work at a massage studio directly across the street from the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab. So these are people in the Gold Coast. These are medical professionals, all kind of people. You know what kind of people are on Michigan Avenue.
Okay.
So those are mostly my clients and have been for several years because I've always pretty much worked in that area.
Okay. And what age range do you work with?
All ages. All ages.
What's the youngest?
I've done an infant or two. Just the cutest thing. And I've also done some gymnasts, 11, 12-year-old gymnasts.
Okay.
Yeah, they're considered athletes.
Oh, yeah.
So I've done that too.
They're definitely in the position to have a lot of injuries.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. People, and then when they're doing things like that, their bodies really need to be stretched back out because your body will clench up and doesn't want to come back. It wants to stay like that. So we have to do what we have to do to work and get the circulation back going.
Now, what led to you working with the infant? And I'm thinking about it because I had a massage once from This person was from India. I forgot what you call this particular type of massage, but they used the hot sesame oil, and they had you on this wooden table, and the massage, required the sesame oil, and I mean, just like a baby. And he said they massage their babies.
Oh,
when they're infants.
Well, I just had some parents that had some jealous babies. And so they had to put the babies on the table and things like that. But I haven't really done it professionally. I'm sure I would probably like to at some point.
I think it's something that's needed. With our children, our babies, once they start crying, we automatically think they want something to eat, or we'll stick something in their mouth, which I think has led to a lot of our eating disorders that we have today. Soon as the only thing that's gonna, relax me is to put some food in my mouth, right? And that's starting from an infant. But if they were to take their babies, or when they get massaged, bring their babies and their children to get regular massages to calm you down,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that would help a lot for like ADHD.
ADHD,
like that.
I just even normal children, just getting massages.
Wow, I hadn't even thought about that, but that isn't a whole entire market, definitely.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, I think the ADHD, especially those kids that are hyperactive in the schools, even going into the schools, and because they have different kinds of services for children with disabilities in the schools. But you might get a little bit with the physical therapist, but mostly their therapy is around, helping you to be able to walk if you can't walk, helping you be able to write, visual motor activities. But that's something that should be a part of the IEP.
Wow.
The IEP, the Individual Education Program, that those children are given a massage every day. They're getting speech therapy, they're getting occupational therapy, they get physical therapy, they see the vision teacher, they may see the hearing impaired, therapist. And I think that would be very important, because one of the problems is for those kids is getting them to calm down.
And also, the parents have been fighting the medication for so long.
Yes.
And that would be great, because I see it working in adults.
That's right. But that gets into that big argument with the Food and Drug Administration, these pharmaceutical companies.
Oh yeah.
Because they want to push these drugs out on everybody.
Right. If it's not something, it seems like if it's not something that they can profit off of, they're not going to push it. That's just the truth.
But that's something that is definitely something to consider. People get massages to calm themselves down. So now you're also a massage therapist, and you're a medical esthetician. So what came first? Being a medical esthetician, and then went into a massage, or were you doing a massage and just decided to become a medical esthetician?
It was definitely the massage therapy.
Okay.
Because I started doing massages when I was 10 and 12.
Oh my goodness, how did that happen?
Well, I have a big brother who is 3 years older than me. And at the time, he was about 13, and he was kind of overweight, but he had joined band, playing drums, so that lower back, sitting there playing with that lower back. So he would always come home in the evenings, with back pain. And he would say, "Sis, please walk on my back. Please walk on my back."
Oh.
And he would always beat me at everything. Like, we play cards, he'd take my money and things like that. So I was happy to do it. I was happy to, march on his back.
Okay.
And it just kind of became a regular thing, because sometimes he just really needed that. And then when I was 12, I had a niece. My sister had a daughter 1 year younger than me, and she would bring her over to the house, and I would want her to play with me all the time, but she couldn't play with me because she had migraine headaches. So I had read somewhere that massage was good for headaches in a magazine. So I was waiting for her when she came before, because there were instructions there. So I would sit her on the floor between my knees, and I have those instructions. I'm 12 years old, and I have these instructions on the side, and I'm working her neck, her shoulders, all the way up her ears, behind her neck and everything.
And you just kind of instinctively...
I needed the headache to go away because I wanted to play.
Oh.
So I didn't know that would become my life's work.
That's interesting. And see, we never know. People have to pay attention to their children. I'm listening to two things here. First, the influence that your grandmother, her church, and obviously the people there had on you and the development of your values. And so we as parents, we as adults in the community, we have a responsibility to make our actions and our behaviors a positive, because our children are watching us. And then you wonder, why are they acting the way they act why did he do that? Why did you do that? Well, what has he seen? Or what have you allowed him to see or not allowed him or her to see?
That's right.
See, and that what you saw inspired you to do what you were doing, and then you were already demonstrating interest. So paying close attention to our children and what they're doing, and saying, well, he has an affinity towards this, and then try to maybe lead them, in that direction. I believe in giving children many different experiences when they're coming up, but pay attention to what they're showing interest in and are good
That's
at.
so important. That is so important. Yes.
Absolutely. So, as a massage therapist now, what makes you go to esthetician? Because you could have went to reflexology, all these other, ologies that they have out here. What made you go to esthetician?
Well, the aesthetics came after I experienced one of the biggest traumas in my life. In 2012, I was in an 8-year living relationship, and he abruptly left me for somebody else. And it was during the time when my niece that I was just telling you about, that we grew up together, and I gave her the massages. She was dying a slow, painful death from cancer. She had breast cancer and everything. And he came in, and that's what he wanted to do. He decided he was ready to go. And not only that, but the person who he left me for was bullying me on the telephone and on Facebook. So I didn't even really get time to grieve. And it sent me into a deep depression for like 3 years. And the only thing that started bringing me out was that, I was staying at home. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't really talking to people. But what really brought me out of it was, one day I started looking back at Facebook. And I noticed on Facebook, people were still getting married. People were still having babies. This was after my niece died. People were still graduating. My world had stopped. The world hadn't stopped. But I just felt old. I felt old, ugly, fat. And I needed a change. I had this thing about laser esthetician was popping up on my computer. And
now what is that?
Laser. It's really basically the same thing. We just work with lasers. Yeah. I couldn't afford, the wrinkle treatments and all of that. And they use the lasers. They use the machines.
Okay.
So I couldn't afford that particular program, but I was able to get financial aid and go back to school. So I went to a school that I liked.
Was it here in Chicago?
Yeah, it's the Soma Institute. I would recommend that school for anybody. The Soma Institute. It's on Jackson. I think it's 55 East Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was kind of a small, kind of intimate setting. Very professional, very well run, very well recognized in the industry and everything. And that was massage school. But it was the same thing that happened with esthetician school. Because I only did them 9 months apart, actually, so I got that a little confused there. But I wanted to learn different beauty treatments, and I wanted to learn how to clear up skin and do anti-aging and just make women feel better and beautiful Because that's what I was thinking, like, if I could just feel better about myself, maybe I could start going outside again and doing all that. And little did I know that I went through all those experiences to help me to heal other people.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we neglect that part, our the aesthetic part, the visual part, when we're going through trauma and things like that. And what people don't understand a lot of times is that when you get a makeover, or something like that. I mean, I watch them all the time. It changes things. It changes you on the inside. Maybe sometimes it might take a little makeup. Sometimes it may take a new outfit or something like that. But just something to jar you into moving into the right direction to get your mind together. So that's why I started that, because a lot of times a woman will feel like that, but she won't say anything. I'll bring it up. You don't have to say anything. You know, would you like your eyebrows done? Would you like this? Would you like that? Just, even just the shoulder massages. I was going to ask you before I even came, I was going to give you a 5-minute of what I do, because when we were at the event, I don't think I get to give you a massage.
No, you were so busy. No, you didn't.
So that's it, because if you can make people feel a little bit.
So you're going to give me a 5 minute at the end?
I am.
Okay, I'm going to give a massage.
If you can make people feel better, that opens them up to learning more. Well, how can I do more? How can I get more? Well, really, it starts from the inside, but we have to do what we have to do to get you going. Like, for instance, if a person, they come to me and they want help, but they're in pain, maybe they want help with something that's inside, emotional or whatever, but their body might have some pain left over from whatever trauma they might have went through. It could be a car accident. It could be a battery or something where somebody's been injured. Or
so your massage approach, if I said I was in an accident, it's going to be one way. If I said I was emotionally traumatized, then I get a different kind of massage.
Yes.
Now, are you using massages like, they have different kind of names of massages out here, or you got your own approach? Or you did do some of these other kinds of massages that they have out here?
Well, one of the customers where I work at, because like I said, I work right in the Gold Coast. They said, she comes in all the time. Well, I had just started. She said, don't get me wrong, all the massage therapists here are terrific, but that Rhonda is in a league of her own. That's because I've been doing it so long, and I've had a chance to kind of develop my own techniques, my own skills, combine different things together. I am different from a regular massage therapist. I'm very targeted with what I do. And if you have a specific area, because I'm not going to say I can heal everything. I mean, nobody can. But if you have a specific area that's really bothering you or whatever, not only am I going to do whatever I can to help that area, but if I see that it's so deep that you might have to come back or whatever, I work on the other areas also. I make them feel fabulous too, so that you can function better. Because when certain parts of your body don't work right, then nothing works right. If your neck hurts, what can you do? What can you concentrate on if your back hurts, or if your foot or your toe hurts? It affects your mobility. It affects how you move around and everything.
It affects how you're feeling.
And how you think.
And how well you're able to think, because everything is connected.
Yes. So that's what I do. I try to put people in a frame of mind so that they are able to move on with their lives. Because sometimes things are deep. I'm learning that about myself right now. I was using my massage gun because I got some stuff that I'm having a little trouble healing. And I'm learning that sometimes you got to go a little deeper. You got to go a little deeper. And since I've been taking that approach, it's been working a lot better. I'm hurting a lot less. It never stops anything, but it's there. I had an injury a while back.
Now, I have a number of friends that recently have been talking about sciatic nerve issues. Work with that as well.
Yes.
And
that's nothing but a trapped nerve under your hip bone. That's what that is.
And where does that come from? What do you think?
Oh, it could come from either doing too much of something or too little of something. And that nerve gets trapped there. I could probably say too much.
Something physical? Or?
Yeah, like I haven't. Like just when I'm doing massages, if I'm doing 3-4 in a day, I might find myself standing on my right hip for a long time. and I don't really notice it until I get home.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what it is because I know where it is. It's like right at the top of your hip where your glute starts. And yeah, it's just a trapped nerve. And you know, the doctors, they give you pain for it and everything.
Sure.
But I go in, I go get it. I go get it. Yeah, I make it. I work everything. Like I said, if I can't get that specifically, I'll go all around it until it's, you know. And then a lot of times it just takes time for the blood to start flowing again.
Okay.
Because like I said, if I'm standing up for hours and hours in one spot, and then that nerve gets trapped under my hip, that is going to take some time for me to work that out. It's going to take heat. It's going to take movement. And
since you do a consultation with them, you kind of have an idea of how it got there, then we can talk about how to prevent this from maybe reoccurring, or how to address this. Or maybe they need to come, depending on if it's their job and whatever, you know, how you're sitting, some different cushion or posture.
I do a consult before and after.
Okay.
And depending on what you tell me before, will have something to do with what I tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Because I give instructions on what to do to make the good feelings last longer when you get a massage.
Okay.
Because muscles, they're flexible and they're pliable, and they want to clench back up. Heat, hot towels. I recommend hot towels, hot baths. Stretching. I even show you how to use the corner of your doorways and things like that to get back pain out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, self-care is really important because sometimes you have to try to maintain and feel good until your next appointment. So.
And a lot of times it's the way we go about doing things, and it kind of reminds me when my daughter was in ice skating, and the first thing they taught is how to fall. You don't fall right, because I did it. I fell and hit this tailbone back here, and you know, they said, well, if it's broke, it's broke. You know, they can't fix it. You know, it's just, you gotta just let it heal, you know, because I fell. You know, my feet went out from under me. But they teach you, the first thing they teach those children or students that come in is how to fall. And so we have to learn the correct way to do certain things. You know,
So true.
picking up, lifting, you know. And you were talking about women. Well, men, I'm not going to say that women have more trauma than men. You know, it's different. It's a different experience on life. But women have to deal with menstrual cycle. They have to deal with childbirth. You know, they are raising the children. They carrying the kids on their back, or carrying the pushing the strollers, and, you know, carrying the kids around a lot. They got to work. And then you go through the end of that cycle dealing with menopause. So do you work with women specifically, you know, in those areas? Let's say starting with when you first start your cycle, which I think, ladies, we need to talk to our daughters about that, so it's not a shock and a surprise when they have that first experience.
Oh, definitely.
And to understand that this is a new chapter in your life, a new phase in your life. You are now able to bring forth life. That's what this means. And you have a responsibility here, you know. So, and then some of my best friends, I know one of my best friends had cramps all the time, real bad cramps, you know. So are you able to work with women, you know, in those areas?
That's a very difficult one. That's a very difficult one. I don't get too many women that come in with cramps like that, but I've been dealing with my daughter for many years with those issues. And most of the time, I mean, because we don't really do too much on the abdomen. You know, we can try to relax you. Oh, the back, yeah. It's very difficult. I try to tell her to put heat. She always tell me, Mom, nothing helps. So we have, we starting to look at some other things because she goes through that. That's some pretty serious stuff there. Some women really go through things with cramps.
They do.
But like you were saying about what women go through, let me give you an idea of some statistics that I found out, some alarming statistics that I really didn't like. 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner. 94% of all murder-suicides are female. So
that lets you know how deep the stress and the trauma is.
Yeah. It's very, very deep. A lot of people are carrying, I touch their shoulders and I just go, you got the world on your shoulders. I don't know what it is, but it's there. Because I can touch pain. I can feel it. I can touch this and tell you, is this where the pain is? And they'll say, yeah, most of the time. Because I know the difference when I know what abnormal feels like and what normal feels like. And I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy the response that...
I can feel that.
Thank you.
I can feel that. Yes, I can.
I work really hard and I enjoy the responses that I get when people get off the tables. Some of it is, and I kind of work for that. It's pretty amazing to see what's going to happen.
Your approach, is individualized.
Very much so.
You don't just get on the table and somebody doesn't say anything to you. Some person walks in the room and start working on you. No, this is an individualized treatment.
Yes, and I try so that to cut down from a lot of talking during the massage. I ask them to let me know if at any point you feel you need more pressure or less pressure at any point, because a bad massage is worse than no massage at all. It's worse. You don't want to get a bad massage. So it's definitely tailored individually.
Now, when you experience pain to that pressure, what is that? Somebody working on you and they hitting something, it's like, ouch, that hurts,
If that's what the issue is, what they told me when they came through the door, that's what hurt. And I touch it and they go, ouch. Most of the time it means there's no blood flow there. So, and sometimes they can't stand for you to touch it. So what I do is I know how to work it to bring the blood flow back and do different things depending on how bad it is. Because some of them are, it's like I can barely make a dent before the session is over. And then some of it is completely gone. It just depends on what's going on there, how long it's been going on.
I know I've talked to certain counselors and they said a lot of times when you have someone that has a significant issue with obesity, it's due to some type of trauma, in their life that has led to this. So do you kind of see it on that end? With women, especially our women, we're having an issue with our diet and our weight and the diabetes especially, and the high blood pressure especially we hear in our community, which is coming from our diet, and then that leads to heart attacks and strokes and gout and all of that.
What we're doing is we're just working right on through it. I see people with these issues and everything, and they just, they're trying. I give them credit for even just coming and getting on the table. And they look at it as a start.
Sure.
Because they feel good from the massage. Now they want to do something else to make themselves feel good. Now they may think about eliminating sweets or taking that trip to the gym or taking that walk. Most of the people that come to me, though, are involved in some type of exercise, even if it's just walking.
Okay.
And because that's what it is, their muscles kind of need something.
So walking is good?
Oh, definitely. I have a lot of senior citizens that stay active by walking, and I really admire and respect that.
Yeah, my mom walks a lot.
Yes, yes, I love it. And they can always add to it. You can put little weights on your arms, on your wrists if you feel like it. And you may want to walk a little bit further next time. Okay. There's always ways to improve, and that's what I teach in my programs. I have people to stretch their limits. Okay. You have to stretch your limits in order to grow, in order to reach the next level. Everybody wants to level up. Nobody wants to stay at the same level. Okay, fine. and you're having trouble moving, you seem so stagnant and you have so many obstacles, just move a little something. That's what I say, and that's what I do in my own life, in my practice and everything. You got to move a little something because you don't want to stay at the same level. You have to grow. Because if you're not growing and you're not dealing with a lot of these emotions and situations and things that pop up, then you might find yourself in one of these statistics. And that's what you don't want to do. So we want to keep people out of those statistics.
These suicide rates are, that's
and how to, and you know what it is too? When a person is suicidal, it's like there's either something going on the inside or on the outside. And usually it's something on the outside.
And they feel no way out.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I like to talk to people about. Because in my trauma, I when I was going through what I told you about with my ex and the girl bullying me and my niece, the person closest to me, and I just lost my mother a year or so earlier. And it was just too much to have to handle all of this, feeling alone, having to handle it all by myself. And I was devastated. I was hurt, humiliated, anxious, angry, full of rage. I was jealous, confused, paralyzed, suicidal and homicidal. I felt used, degraded, hopeless, frustrated, sabotaged, gaslighted, betrayed. And the worst of it all was I was alone. I was alone. I was trying to deal with all of this by myself. I felt like God himself had left me. And once I started getting better, I said, I never, ever, if I can help it on my watch, want to watch anybody go through something like that and I have nothing to offer. I have no way to help. Because there's always a word you can give to somebody, even if it's just, hello, how you doing? You know, I got a lot of those. I said, well, God gave me this. That's how I felt like I wanted to help people to heal and get better. You know, I want to try to help with that suicide and that murder rate.
And sometimes as friends and family, we want to help each other. You see what somebody may be doing is wrong. Like you said, you see the outside of what's going on. And so you telling them they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't do that. Or you maybe provide too much support when you become.
Oh, I did a lot of that in my early days.
You become an enabler, and you begin to use you as a crutch. So when you're trying to help somebody, it's hard to find that balance, you know, of pushing and not pushing too hard, you know, where you break the person down, you know.
Yes, and it can be draining. It can be draining.
Yes, it can.
For the practitioner too. I can't take on everybody. I have to take on people who are willing, because some people have an excuse for why they can't do something at all times, everything. So it's like, well, when you're ready to start facing some of these things that you need to face, then you need to come to me, because you can't just say, oh, well, I tried that didn't work. I tried that didn't work. I tried that didn't work. Did you really try it? Did you really give it a chance? You have to be open and willing. That's one of the requirements. You have to be open and willing, because we have to face some deep stuff that we don't want to face. I had to face some deep stuff, you know, on multiple occasions. And it was very hard, very trying. But when you get to the other side, it's the gift. Like they told me my trauma was a gift, that what I went through. Boy, people telling me that, man, I wanted to slap them upside the head. How could that be a gift? It is a gift. It's not easy to see. You don't see it. Because the box is still, you haven't unwrapped it. It's really a gift.
Well, you were willing. You were willing to do it.
I had to. I felt like my life was at stake.
It's been given to many people, but everybody's not listening. And everybody's not going to take up that responsibility and that mantle. So you were willing to listen and move on it.
Not just for myself, but for others also. Because you know that song say, if I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living will not be in vain.
Wow.
I want to stop somebody from killing themselves. I want to stop somebody from a possible homicide just because he left with Mary. You know. So what? He did you a favor. He did you a favor. Oh, by the way, the guy is he's trying to come back now. It's been 10 years. Just to let you know. It's principles. I stuck to my principles. I didn't get ugly. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to argue, whatever. I left it peaceful. You okay, you go on and you do that. And I'm just gonna stay over here and try to put my little pieces back together.
Okay.
But look at my pieces now. Look at my pieces. I have so many things that I can do, so many things that I can teach people and help them so that they are better. Now I can help make people better. Okay, if that was the outcome, if that was the plan in the beginning, I'm so glad I accepted the assignment.
Wow. How often should someone get massages? You know, let's go with the person that, you know, doesn't really have so much going on, you know, with them, and somebody that really has a lot of problems. You know, how often should somebody be coming in to get a massage?
I would say at least once a month.
Mm-hmm.
It should be incorporated into your routine monthly.
Monthly.
But if you have a serious injury or something, like if you have something that won't move, something that won't bend, something that's bulging out, no, you might need to come once a week or once every 2 weeks to get that, you know, taken care of. Of course, we recommend that you see your doctor, your psychiatrist, or counselor first, or whatever, medical professional. But what I offer is for some people who maybe you don't have a medical professional, maybe you can't afford to go to the doctors or whatever, and you want to try something else before you start taking pills and medication. I'm not recommending that, or maybe you've already tried it. So we're not trying to replace the doctors or anything. We're trying to work in conjunction. We're trying to give you something that they don't give you. We're trying to offer something else, because sometimes you need more. Like a psychiatrist, they're only going to see you, once a week or once a month or whatever, to prescribe medications or whatever. And that's fine. But
well, you know, people are on so much medication now. You know, I know people that's taking 17, 20 pills a day, different kind of pills.
It's hard on your throat too.
Yeah, taking all that medication, and one thing leads to another. You know, they have to take one medication to deal with the other medication because of what it's doing. And all of this medication has to be filtered through your kidneys, you know. And I think that's why we have so many dialysis clinics.
I think so
because
too.
of all this medication, because the first thing is bringing the medication. So getting massages is an approach, the way I'm seeing it, to you trying to take control of what's happening with you. And who knows better than you what's been going on in your life. Sometimes you need to talk to somebody to help make you aware of certain things.
So true.
You know, and some things are hard to talk about. Some things have been embedded way
And sometimes
back.
you forgot things and you don't even know that it's still bothering you.
Still there.
Yeah.
Because if it hasn't been dealt with, it's still there. Right?
That's right. That's right.
So we got a lot of collection of I don't know what.
And things just pile on top of each other.
And then our traumas that our people have had during slavery, some of that's been passed on. Yeah, and problems that happen in families, you know, that's been passed on, and then just dealing with racism today and just the stress, you know, for everybody, you know, trying to make it today. You know, it's very hard on us as Black people.
That's right.
But it shows how strong we are because we're still standing.
Yes. I wish we had that generational wealth like we have that generational trauma. We have an abundance of that instead of an abundance of trauma, because that's what we inherited. So we need more healers. So I'm going to devote more of my time to teaching people how to do it themselves. I'm going to do some videos and give instructions so that you can do it as a couple, or you can do it with a friend or family member. And just get
that's
those
a beautiful
made.
thing.
Yeah,
working as couples.
Oh yeah, I'm working with somebody right now to
families,
create that.
The mother, the father, the children.
It's very important. It's very important, and it could be different body parts. It could be a foot massage. It could be a hand massage, a neck massage, a shoulder massage. So I'm going to be breaking those down and doing that. I have somebody working with me to help me get that together.
Okay. Now you do a month. Is it a monthly program that you're on, or that you're going to be doing?
Yeah, with the counseling, yeah, it's going to be a monthly program, but I don't have a monthly set up.
Okay,
just
but
yet.
that's something you're working on. All right. So if they follow you on your website, okay, which is your website?
HealingTraumaLikeABoss.com.
Okay.
Or you could go to jd3tv.com and you could look up hosts and you'll see me there, Rhonda Johnson. I'm one of the hosts of a TV show called Healing Trauma Like a Boss. And you can also subscribe right there.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you have a book? Coming out?
Yes, the book is coming out in November. It's an anthology with about, about 6 to 12 other women. We're each telling our story in the book. And we have a wonderful person who's guiding us through it and supporting us, and her name is Martha Dubois. And she's a 7-time best-selling author. And we're just working under her tutelage, and it's great. We're learning more, and like I said, leveling up.
Wow, and you've had some mentors along the way, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, I'm working with some marvelous people right now. Sir Dr. James Denley from JD3 TV.
Okay.
He's the best. With JD3 TV, all the TV show hosts, and there are a lot of us, all the TV show hosts are doing something to help humanity. Nobody's working just for money. It's something to help humanity.
That's us.
Yes, and it has to be that way. It needs to be that way, because I think in the end, those are going to be the organizations that are left standing. The way you see things are going on right now, it's like, I see some crumbling going on. Yep. So we want to stick with the people that are helping people who need help.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So what kind of advice would you give to us people who are aspiring to get into this field, of massage therapy? Young or older people, what would you say to them?
Well, one thing I would say is, if you are doing massages and you're practicing massages on your family and friends like I did when I was even really young, and people tell you that you have a talent, then I think you should go for it. Even if they don't tell you that and you feel you have a talent for it, I think you should go for it. Find a massage school, keep practicing on your friends and family. Don't hurt anybody, don't go too hard. But keep following your dreams, because you will be led. There's some great massage therapy schools all over the country, and it doesn't take long.
Are you familiar with Dudley? Do Dudley teach massage, or they just basically deal with hair?
I don't know.
Okay.
Years ago, I know it was just hair, but I don't know what they're into now.
I know they do the nails, because I know somebody that has a nail shop that graduated from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm not sure. It's something to find out.
It's all together, though. It's all together. It's all. I mean, don't think beauty doesn't help with healing trauma. Beauty, the nails, the hair, all of that. I think that playing golf can help heal trauma. I think it's whatever you need to do. I'm not saying that's all you need to do, but you have to have something I won't say inside of you, but you have to have something that makes you feel good inside, some type of way, without hurting anybody else. You have to find something for yourself, because a lot of times as women and mothers, we give so much. We give so much to the point of next thing you know, we're sick.
That's right. And that's where they talk about the caregiver.
Yes.
The mother, with other people on that other end, with the hospice, when people are getting sick in hospice. What is that like working with?
We have to stop losing ourselves. We have to. In hospice, you can learn so much. You can learn so much. You have to have a heart for it. Sure. Because you're helping somebody transition. And you also have to be aware and help the family as well, because sometimes it's very hard for them. And I've seen a lot of families where this is where things come out like they start fighting over inheritances and trusts and things before the person is even in the ground.
That's terrible.
So you have to watch out, because it's always usually like one or two specific people that just,
And people should be thinking about more than that, about what they're going to get when this person is gone. Should be more about, what did I get while this person was here?
And what did I get?
And then when that person is gone, what that person has left me, not necessarily in money, but in their spirit, in their energy. Like what your grandmother left you, it's still with you.
Yes.
She's still, her spirit still lives through you.
Yes.
And I think it makes you think differently about death, not just being the end of something,
That's right.
of your life, because the kind of life that you live is going to impact, those people that you leaving behind.
That's so
and it's going to have had an impact on them, the good and the bad that you did. And so that's the kind of conversation, because those are the things, when you get the money, if the head isn't right, you're going to blow the money. Just like people win the lottery, and they're broke next year. You just won millions of dollars and you're broke next year. Why? Because your head and your heart, your values are not in the place that they should be in. I'm not going to say right or wrong. I'm just going to say they're not where they should be. Because if they were, this would not happen. So that's what the discussion needs to be about.
Right, because if people's values, morals, standards, and things like that were in place, the world would really be a much better place. But we're looking at a lot of people who don't have that for whatever reason.
It's not being imparted. It's just,
and you can't give what you don't have.
No. And it's not about getting on the microphone and lecturing. It's about what you are doing. Like, those people didn't come and tell you, you're going to be a minister, blah. No, it's what they were doing, and you were sitting there listening. And so was somebody else, So it's what you do, not so much what you say.
And I had no idea the principles were being ingrained in me back when I was 6.
Of course they
were. That would still be carrying me at 58. I had no idea. But now I know that's what it's all about.
And going back to that, when we were talking about women, and when a young lady comes into her time for her menstrual cycle, that's a very important time of her life, because now you can bring a life into the world. And what does that mean? What responsibility do you have when you do that? And too often, it's for a check, or it's to get a man, or, no. And so then,
or to feel grown,
and then, or cause somebody else is doing it, And so when the child comes here, what do you feel or know that your responsibility is? Even if you don't know a lot, just like you didn't know a lot, and you grew and you looked for the right things to do in your work, and it came to you because of what you was looking for. Well, what are they looking for? Get the kids, dress them up, put all the cute little clothes on them. But it's way more to being a mother.
And feeding them McDonald's.
That's right. Thinking about cooking for what. All of a sudden, you go into you should be going to mode of what's best for this child. I mean, I'm going to have to make some sacrifices.
So true.
So, yeah. So, listen. Am I gonna get my massage?
You most definitely are.
Okay, so I am.
You look like you're ready to, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, this is Rhonda Johnson, transformational coach. You have learned something the way we do it at times. We don't have all of this whatever other tools, maybe other people. We have some other tools that we draw from. What's inside is how you develop, even through your practical training. Okay, you've gotten that, because you're a medical, clinical massage therapist. You're an esthetician. So yeah, you've gone through all of that, but you've also gone inside.
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go inside and give me a massage before we end this program.
Okay.
Okay, so
Sounds
you want me
good.
to sit? Just sit in my chair.
Okay, you want me to do it right here? Okay, let's do it. I need a little oil or something, just something slippery on my hands.
Okay, you need a little bit of oil. Okay, right now, just excuse me. You want to tell them what you gotta do?
Oh, okay. Perfect oil.
Olive oil.
Perfect, yes.
Okay, I'm glad I want to.
They say if you can't eat it, it shouldn't be on your skin.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm gonna give Miss Denise just a small stress relief treatment. I wanted to give it to her before the interview, but it didn't work out that way because when I came in, she was ready. So here we go.
Okay, in case you wonder what's going on, I'm getting a massage from Rhonda Johnson. Oh wow, that feels good. Wow.
Yeah, because we were vendors and we were sitting right next to each other, and I didn't get to give her a massage.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, it really helps the blood flow because when we stay busy all the time, our muscles still work, but it just becomes less and less comfortable. And we shouldn't have to go through that. Massage guns are good too.
Massage what?
Massage guns.
Massage gun?
Massage guns. Pow pow.
Oh, just
I keep a massage gun near me at all times because I never know when stuff is just going to stiffen up.
Am I stiff?
Yes.
Yes, I am. I'm so busy.
I felt it.
I'm a busy bee. Doing everything.
I'm gonna have to bring my massage gun over here.
Now, when people get massages, do you go to their homes or do you have facilities that you invite them to come to?
Well, right now, I'm not doing. I've had facilities before, but right now, I'm working at a place down in the Streeterville area, across the street from Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, and yes. I do go to homes and treat people.
Okay.
But I'm looking forward to getting my own space again at some point.
Okay.
But because the place that I work at, I only work there 2 days a week because it's somebody else's establishment, and I want to work on getting my own, putting everything together. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, when the blood starts to circulate, it feels so good.
Yeah, it's like you forgot it was there.
And that should be happening with us all the time. I'm sure to help keep a lot of ailments and diseases away.
Oh, definitely.
On top of people should be getting them at work, on the job, everywhere. Well, I have to tell you people, this is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. Okay.
You're right, because we have to start going deeper now.
She's going deeper because Denise is busy. Wow.
Well, I look
Okay.
forward to doing it for you one day, you know,
Absolutely.
specifically for you when it's your
Specifically for
day,
me.
your time, because what I do, I bring a whole table.
Okay.
I bring the sheets, the pillowcase, everything.
Okay.
Sit down.
Absolutely.
And I put you on the table and I find out what's the worst, what are the worst 3 things that are bothering you?
Okay.
What's bothering you? Anything bothering you on your body?
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could give me up to 5, but I
Okay.
can't promise you I'm on.
And how long are your massages usually?
Anywhere from an hour. Well, I do 30 minutes too, but an hour to an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We do 30s, we do hours, and we do 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was great. It's a very nice touch, and I feel even more relaxed. But I'm sure I need a special appointment to deal with my own, stressors and things that I may have to deal with in life, and I'm definitely looking
She's
forward
gonna get
to
one
that.
too. She's
I
gonna
am
get
definitely
one.
looking
Yes.
forward to that. So, Rhonda, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you again.
Okay. Well, you can call me at 773-577-3279, or you can email me at Rhonda, JOJNSON, @gmail.com, or you can contact me through Denise right here.
Absolutely. You can email us at blackbeards.grow@gmail.com, and we'll be very happy to send your referral over to Rhonda. All right. So, Rhonda, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
That's right, and I want to thank you for doing what you do. And friends and family, this is Behind Black Business. Definitely a business that we should support. Please go to our website at rrgbc.org. Subscribe so you can become one of our winners. Go to the Save Black Bookstores Chicago at change.org and sign our petition to help our bookstores. You can also go to our website where you can purchase from our online store, which helps our efforts, and also you can donate. So again, I want to thank you for coming, and good night.